When your power is taken early and your authenticity is put in a box, your soul doesn't forget that. Now listen, this is important. Here is why I'm telling you this. This is a vulnerable moment for me. Proverbs tells us that we should guard our hearts with all diligence because out of it flows the issues of our life. One version that I love says, out of it flows everything that you do. And you think about that. It's important that you guard and you protect your heart. And your heart is the very essence of who you are. It's where your authenticity is born. It's where your personality resides. It's the true essence of you. That part of you, we must guard. And some of us are feeling like we don't have the confidence, we have low self-esteem, and we think it's a problem with us. When I learned to deal with my unhealed wounds, I stopped blaming and shaming myself. And I started to understand this was taken away from me at an early age. So I learned to protect myself. And also, those things caused me to second guess my own thoughts, which is where the overthinking comes in, the self-doubt comes in. So I want you to learn to give yourself some grace, because some of the things that you are dealing with or struggling with may have something to do with what you experienced as a child, or it may have something to do with a traumatic situation that happened in your life, whether it's a loss, whether it was a painful divorce, whether it was abuse, whether it was physical or verbal abuse. Those things attack your soul. And that is where the essence, the part of you that is the true part of you, was wounded. Scripture says, guard your heart with all diligence, because out of your heart flows everything that you do. Leadership doesn't flow from titles. Leadership flows from your heart. What we actually call low confidence is unhealed wounds living in your soul. Overthinking is not always insecurity. Sometimes it is self-protection. And that's something that I had to learn. Like, why am I always overthinking myself? Why am I always overthinking something that I know in my heart I have the ability and the capability to do and desire to do it? But when you make a step to go do it, you immediately begin to overthink in your mind all the things that are going to go wrong, all the reasons why you don't feel like you're qualified to do it. It is because you have learned to self-protect. That's a part of your brain that's trying to protect you from being hurt. Self-doubt isn't always weakness. I want you to hear this. Sometimes it is the result of being trained to not trust yourself. And here's the shift that changed everything for me. And maybe this will also help you. I stopped asking myself, what's wrong with me? And I started asking myself, what happened to me? Because once you understand the root, you will stop shaming the fruit. And I'm learning so much about those generational curses or those generational attachments that sometimes go all the way back to the 7th and 6th generation. Think about that. Some things that have happened in your life may have been passed down through generations, through the bloodline. Many different things, not just trauma, but it could be lack, it could be poverty, it could be low self-esteem. Some of those things are being passed down generationally through the bloodline. It's something to think about. It's something to look into. I wasn't broken. We will so quickly attach that label to ourselves. We'll say, I'm just broken. I'm just a broken person. We have to be careful about the labels that we attach to ourselves. Once you get an understanding and a revelation of these things, you will begin to speak differently about yourself. You will begin to speak differently. The words that come out of your mouth concerning yourself, you will be more mindful of those things. I wasn't broken. I was wounded and I needed healing. I have been on a progressive journey of healing so that I can lead more authentically, and more truthfully. And this is the heart behind healing before leading. Isaiah tells us that God came to bind up the brokenhearted, to release those held captive, and to comfort those who mourn. I want you to notice the order of that. God heals before he commissions. He restores identity before he releases your assignment. You don't heal so you can lead perfectly. You heal so you won't bleed on people while you lead. Because leadership doesn't hide wounds, it will expose them. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. Confidence doesn't come first. Healing does. Identity does. And your identity is restored through healing. When God heals your heart, confidence is a byproduct, not performance. So before we talk about confidence, before we talk about visibility, before we talk about authority, we need to talk about healing. Because healing before leading is how you will reclaim your voice, your authority, and your peace. And if you're still here with me, this journey is for you.